Hello guys, this is Roy69501 and welcome to my channel. Well, the comic that I'm gonna display, well, we all know what I'm gonna do, and it is from the 90s. And this one is from Top Cow Comics, and it is Phantom, issue number 1, and was done by Michael Turner. I would say that Michael Turner is just one of the greatest artists up to date, although he died a couple of years ago, I think so. Check out that cover. Awesome, huh? So I'm over here. Okay, stay. Well, this video is because I noticed that some people are kind of lost with the Green Lantern books. Although I read all 4 titles, so I'm pretty much up to date on what's going on. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm not gonna give you my reviews or anything at all. It's more like explaining what's going on. So I'm gonna tell you what's going on from issue number 26. I'm going to start there. 26, 27, Green Lantern Corps Annual number 2, number 28, 29, and 30. Well, the thing is that after the event with Relic, it's like once the event of that Relic ended, it was like the beginning of the end. And the thing is that the Durlans, that's a race that they can take the shape of anything. Animal, any creature, plants, trees, birds, you name it. So they have their spies, they have spies all over the universe. So the main thing is to destroy the Green Lantern Corps. Now, the best way to do it is that they send different agents inside of Oa, which happens to be now the planet Mojo, or Mogul, is the new Oa for the Green Lantern Corps, because the planet Oa was destroyed by Relic. Excuse me. So everything started because one of the Durlans, one of the spies, he infiltrated into the Green Lantern Corps and took the shape of Hal Jordan and broadcast a message throughout the universe, all the Green Lantern members and all the planets, I would say the whole universe. And that message says that, well, that the Green Lantern Corps is a threat to the universe, because according to Relic, every time that a Green Lantern uses a ring, it will kind of like weaken the universe, which it's hard to explain. Every time that they use the ring, kind of damage the universe to a point where the universe is going to be destroyed. So everything will be non-existent, which is comic book world. I would say that's pretty cool. Kind of exciting though. So the thing is that once all that's going on, so he broadcast a message saying that the Green Lantern Corps is a threat for the universe, that the Green Lantern Corps is going to be the cause of the end of the universe, that the Green Lantern Corps, they are not good people, they are not to be trusted, and so on and so forth. Oh, I mean, whatever bad that you can come up with, well, it's been done. So what they did was that by doing that, they will create a mistrust from all the people, or aliens throughout the universe will distrust the Green Lantern Corps. Now, everybody sees the Green Lantern Corps as the bad guys, where they're not. I mean, you and I, we know that the Green Lantern Corps are the good guys. But according to the story and the comic book world, for the rest of the universe, the Green Lantern Corps, are the bad guys. So, they are in a big dilemma. I will explain. So, what all that is going on, John Stewart, after Reddick, all the prisoners there, some of them died, some of them escaped. So they decide to deputize a couple of the prisoners that they have in their silent cells. Silent cells are the prisons that they use, or they used to use in Noah. Actually, they still use it. So, one of those villains deputized, well, one of them is he's a tracker. And the thing is that they need those guys because they have to search for a specific Green Lantern, which happens to be a Durlan, the bad guys, those shapeshifters. The thing is that this Durlan, forgot his name, I think his name is Gene, I think it is, or Dean, something like that. Anyway, so the Guardians sent him as an undercover to a planet where everything is bad, kind of like Mos Eisley on the Star Wars universe, where all the scum and villainy, well, same thing. As an undercover, because they have the ability to take shape of any shape and form, as long that he's alive. They cannot take the shape of a furniture. Well, because he's hiding, the thing is that he's a Green Lantern because the Ring choose him. But every time that a Durlan, this Green Lantern Durlan, use his power to change shift, or shift change, well, the Ring thinks that he died, so he just goes away. So that's why he was a Green Lantern, but for a short time. So he spent for a lot of years hiding from the bounty hunters because all the universe are chasing him, because they wanted him dead, or at least choose sides. So John Stewart and the Tracker and the rest of the team, they found that spy in that Mos Eisley planet. Well, I'm going to call it Mos Eisley because it's a lot easier for me to remember, although the name is not Mos Eisley. But I guess you understand what I'm doing here. So once that they find him, they try to convince him to go back to the core, but he doesn't want to, because he knows what's going on. He knows about the message. But the Durlans, the bad guys, are also looking for him because they want him to be part of his people, because they're going into war against the Green Lantern Corps. Which eventually will explain you why they're going into war and how they're doing it. So once they do that, then, there's a big fight, talking and blah, 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 and there's a big fight going on, punches, kicking, biting, poking eyes, kicking, you name it. So they finally escape. So while all that fight is going on, John Stewart asked this Green Lantern, Durlan, to join the Green Lantern Corps to fight the bad guys. This war that is coming on, which is going to be the uprising. So this Durlan green guy, He said, "Oh, look, I don't trust you. I know what's going on. You are the bad guys, and blah, blah, blah." But Jon Stewart says, "Look, Hard Jordan, he did not send that message. It was one of you people." I says, "Yeah, I know. But he doesn't trust the Green Lantern Corps, but he doesn't trust his own people either. So his people shows up and say, look, I want you to join our cause or die." So we have that Durlan Green guy between two teams, between the good guys and the bad guys. What for us we see as the good guys versus bad guys, and for them, well, it just depend how you, depending what position you are, you can tell who you can say who's a good guy and the bad guy. So he finally decided to be part of the Green Lantern Corps. Fine, they escape, they go here, they go there, and everything's fine. Now, while all that's going on, everybody knows, or actually nobody knows, that Carl Reiner is still alive. For the rest of the Corps, Carl Reiner is dead. So Carl Reiner is doing his own stuff with the New Guardians, which eventually on my next video I will explain what's going on with Carl Reiner. It's part of the story, but not. I do not want to detour too much of the main story of the Green Lantern Corps with Carl Reiner, which I can explain that on my next video. So, on top of that, Jon Stewart, he doesn't know that Hal Jordan told Chuck Norris, Guy Gardner, which happened to look like Chuck Norris, to go to planet Earth to defend it. Well, actually, he didn't tell Guy Gardner to defend Earth. Actually, that was kind of like a deal, which that's going to be another video about what's going on with the Red Lantern. You see, that's the thing. All the books are connected. They're connected and not connected at the same time. I don't know if that makes any sense. I mean, all 4 books has the main story. Is the story of the Uprising. But the main story is divided in 4. You know, it's like the Green Lantern Corps have their own thing. Green Lantern, Hal Jordan has his own thing. The Red Lantern and the Green Lantern Corps and the New Guardians. So although it's also the main story, I mean, all 4 books eventually will get together for the Uprising. So it's like, I mean, the universe is so big to the comic book world that there's no way that they can tell all the stories that they can come up with the Green Lantern Corps in 1 book or 2. So I believe that's why they have 4. Because from one book to the other is a bit different, but not too much. But it's not a crossover per se, not yet. So back to Green Lantern Corps. So Jon Stewart, he doesn't know about what happened with the deal that Hal Jordan did with Guy Gardner with Planet Earth. Although in Planet Earth we have the new Green Lantern. The one that used the gun was the one that was accused, the one that used to steal a car. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about. The one that he stole a car, and then just about when he was going to be in jail, he became a Green Lantern. Forget his name. But you know, excuse me, you know which one I'm talking about. So Jon Stewart, he get pissed off about it. He said, how can Hal Jordan come up with this stupid idea to give planet Earth to be protected by the Red Lanterns, when we all know that the Red Lanterns, they are all bunch of pissed off lanterns. They're happy when they're in a bad mood. Believe it or not. So that's another story. That would be another video about the Red Lantern. What's going on with the Red Lantern? So Jon Stewart, he's bad mood. Say how he can do this and do that. But okay, I'm gonna deal with that later. Okay. The thing is that the Durlans, the way that they're doing the operation is that instead to attack the Green Lantern Corps head on, they decide to spread their spy agents throughout the universe and infiltrated different key points, which they have about a bunch of them inside of Mojo's new OA, or the new Green Lantern Corps headquarters, which happens to be Mojo. Yeah, the Green Lantern planet, which is pretty cool, you ask me. So, the thing is that the Durlans, those shape-shifting creatures, aliens, what they did is that they did a simultaneous attack. They go to different outposts that belong to the Green Lantern Corps throughout the universe and destroy those outposts, including killing a couple of Green Lanterns. Now, you might be wondering, how can one of those shape-shifted creatures can kill a Green Lantern? Well, easy. Everything starts, like I said, it comes from Reddick. You see, these Durlan guys, creatures or aliens, I mean, actually, if you look at it, they have a face full of tentacles. It's like a octopus. Yeah. I mean, they only have 2 eyes, and the rest of the face is all full of tentacles. I don't know, they look like, yeah, like an octopus. I don't know. Pretty ugly things, anyway. So the thing is that once that they did those attack, all those outposts throughout the universe, they also, one of the spies destroyed the communication center inside of Oa, on the original planet of Oa. Now, remember, Oa was destroyed by Reddick. I mean, the story is really good. I like it. Maybe it might sound a little bit complicated, but it's not. So, once the planet is destroyed, Oa, Mojo, he decided, well, I can build a new headquarters, which is going to be a planet Mojo. Well, once that the planet was destroyed, Oa, they have no communication between Green Lantern, between outposts. So it was a big chaos. Now, the Durlans are using like propaganda, going to different planets, saying, well, look, we will protect you, because the Green Lantern Corps are the bad guys. So you let yourself be protected by the Green Lantern Corps, well, you're all gonna die. The thing is, you see, nobody trusts the Green Lantern Corps right now for what happened with the old Guardians. I'm talking about way back with when Sinestro killed all of them. I think was the Wrath of the First Lantern. I think it was when Jeff Jones was writing Green Lantern. I think it was the first or third, about the third story arc with the Green Lantern. I think it was the Wrath of the First Lantern. By the end of that storyline, after Sinestro killed all of them. Now, the New Guardians, they rise up because they were kind of like suspended animation or sleeping for thousands of years. So with the New Guardians, that's going to be another video to tell you what the New Guardians are doing with Kyle Rayner, which for everybody, Kyle Rayner is dead because he kind of sacrificed himself in the end of this Relic storyline. I hope that you are following me. Okay, back to Green Lantern Corps. So once that they destroy all those outposts and they start using propaganda throughout the universe, they have also spies between the Green Lantern Corps. Finally, Kilowog managed to fix the communication center so he can communicate with all over the place, with the rest of the outposts and the and the Green Lantern. The thing is that the Green Lantern rings, they are acting up. 1 second they are Green Lantern, and the next second they just kind of like run out of power. Now, how the Durlams are finding the Green Lantern? Well, easy. You see, during Relic event, the Durlam managed to take some of his Relic technology and reverse engineer that technology from Relic in favor for the Durlams. The thing is that the Durlams, they create a gun that will drain the power of the ring. So no matter how powerful the Green Lantern can be, they have a gun that will drain the power of the ring. Once the ring runs out of power, they become no more. They will lose. They will turn into being normal without their uniform. So if they are in outer space, and that happens, well, they will dead. Go figure. So that's how the Durlams are killing the Green Lantern. Now, finally, this Green Lantern spies Durlam. He took sides with the Green Lantern Corps, and he's planning John Stewart how to fight them, which is pretty neat. And also, we get to find out the story about the Durlam, where they come from, why they doing what they doing. The thing is that the Durlam are blaming the Green Lantern for the destruction of their own planet, which in a way it is, but that was with the old Guardians, not the new Guardians. So for the Durlam, even though that happened, I don't know, maybe, let's just punch a number, 20,000 years ago, more or less, although the Durlam, they spent a couple of millennia, planning this uprising. So the uprising is all about propaganda, telling lies, confusing the Green Lantern Corps. Now, the Green Lantern Corps is getting to a point where they don't know who to trust, which eventually in the planet Oa, Mogul, they managed to trap 6 Durlam spies that were infiltrated inside of Mogul. Also, the Mogul, and also there's another race, which they call them the space spider, something like that. So the thing what the Durlams are doing is by using shape-shifting and lying and propaganda and all that politics. So they're making different aliens planet to join the uprising against the Green Lantern Corps. So it's not just one alien race. I'm talking about almost the whole universe. So the universe is divided. Who's going to be part of the alliance and part of the uprising, kind of like Star Wars. So that's what's going on with the Green Lantern Corps. So in issue number 31 is going to be the beginning of the uprising crossover. Now, these books here, if you are not reading it and you decide to buy it in trade, I would tell you that the story, I really like the story. It might be slow for some of you, because because there are some readers that they like to get right into the action. So here, there's a lot of reading, maybe a bit slow for some of you. Personally, I love it, because at least it gives time to build up all the way to the uprising storyline. Because there are times that the writers, they just give you a little bit of information, then suddenly, boom, you're just into the crossover. And you're like, okay, what just happened? And then after the crossover is over, then they start giving you some backstory of what of the consequences for that crossover. So here they're doing it, what I believe is the correct way. They give you all this, the build up for that event, which is going to be uprising, which I think is going to run on only 3 books, I believe so. I don't think I'm not sure if the Red Lantern is going to be part of it. And also I have to do a video about what's going on with Hal Jordan's in the Green Lantern books. So overall, this is kind of like a prelude maybe about what's going on. I would give it 4 out of 5 because I really like it. I mean, I read all these comic books in one afternoon. I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 comic books. Even my neighbor's dog liked this story. So, it's a slow story. Don't expect to get into the action because there is, but it's not what you expect. But overall, I'm looking forward for the Uprising crossover because it looks interesting. So that just gives you information about what's going on with the Green Lantern Corps. So if you're just reading the Green Lantern books, the main one, so you're kind of wondering what's going on with the Uprising. Well, this video is kind of like giving you about what's going on the Green Lantern Corps side. So my next video is going to give you what's going on with the Uprising, the prologue for the Uprising on the Green Lantern, and the New Guardians. So that's what is going on with the Green Lantern Corps. I have to say that is really good. In my case, I love the book, like the story. Maybe slow, but I like storytelling. There are times that I like that the story will go straight to the point, but that doesn't work with every story. They have to kind of like build up a little bit. And I like it. It's really good. Really, really, really good. I really like the Green Lantern Corps. Very interesting story. Maybe some of you might go like, meh. But for me, I like the story. Well guys, this is it. I hope that you like this video. See you later. Bye.